Okay. So hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Where's your war face? You got a war face? Well, do you? Oh, the 80s. Remember all the movies? There's a lot of good movies. Okay, so we're gonna broad brush today a lot of quick things that maybe you're seeing, you're experiencing, your thoughts, whatever. Here comes Fritz. I'll get interrupted by kitty cat because he knows when we run in the driveway. So here's the deal, folks. Lots to talk about. A lot to talk about. First things first, I want you to go through your medicine cabinet and your medical kits, first aid, and make sure that you have wound care. Tell it, sister. It's supper time. She is wanting supper. But you need to go through your medicine cabinets and you need to make sure that you have appropriate wound care. Yes, I had a rabbit literally bite into my arm today, and when I lifted my arm up, the rabbit was still hanging into, yes. I think I'm gonna be okay. I tended to it very quickly. I'm not hurting at this time, but I am gonna keep an eye on it. There's lots of different types of wounds, clearly punctures, etc., but you need to understand how you need to clean them, what items you need for that, wound sprays, sutures, antibiotics, all of the above. You don't have to be doing much of anything at this time of the year, especially. A lot of us are starting to get outside. We're starting to mend fences. We're working with animals. Things happen and you can get seriously injured, okay? And at the time, you may not think you're really that injured, and then in 2 days later, your whole arm is blood red. Let's hope that doesn't happen here. But my point is this was a reminder today. This was. I know you're like, you just got your arm about chewed off by a rabbit, and you're talking about preparedness. Yes, I am. Because I went... this is a moment here. Here's a moment. Every moment that you're experiencing right now, all the things that you're doing, if you're wide awake, I'm wide awake, then everything is going to be a learning lesson for you. To be honest with you, she wasn't being aggressive, so I know what you're going to say. Put her in a stew pot. I get it. She was trying to go for her dish. I was feeding her, and she tried to bite onto the dish, and she missed big time. And even if I'd had my gloves on, she would have caught it. So that's what happened. This is what I'm saying. Things happen on a farm. Things happen on a homestead. Things happen in your home, especially if you have goofy kids and they take after their goofy mother. So go through your cabinets in terms of anything to do with wound care, medicines, antibiotics, all of the above. So there's your important reminder today. Your second reminder, okay, I'm gonna fuss at you just a little bit, ladies. I'm gonna fuss at you. It's a good fuss. It's a nice fuss. Don't make excuses because there really isn't one. If you are, how do I say this? If you carry a certain item to help you out if you get in a bad situation, do not leave that item in your pocketbook. Do not have it in your pocketbook. You need to go to particular stores, you need to go to a particular range, whatever, talk to some people, and you need to be buying a particular item that you can put on your body, whether it's around your breast, whether it's around your waist, whether it's on the outside of your jeans or on the inside of your jeans, whatever, okay? Do not leave these items in your pocketbook, okay? Because believe me, with the surge of inflation, with the high rise in crime, with all of the things that we see going on, you are going to see more theft. That involves you particularly because you are a vulnerable target. You are. And thieves look for vulnerable targets. You are more vulnerable than a lot of other things, right? So, and if your little helper is in your pocketbook, believe me, they have your item if they get your pocketbook, and they will get your pocketbook. Just as my particular trainer right now will say, I don't care what any of you ladies think. You think you're Billy bad butt? No, listen to me. I love you, and I don't mean this as an insult. I'm telling you this because I love you. if I want any of y'all's purses, I'm gonna get your purse, because I'm a dude, you're a woman, and I know that I'm physically more capable with strength and speed than most of you. And if I want your pocketbook, I am going to get it. So get those things out of your pocketbook. I know some of it can be uncomfortable. Find a way that it is comfortable. And remember, be a little uncomfortable right now. Okay? Being uncomfortable is the reminder that it's there. Being uncomfortable is causing you to even be more aware. And you know what? It's probably going to save your life. So the question is, Fritzy, are you going to run the whole time that I'm running too? Are you going to go back and forth like you normally do? Or is it a lazy afternoon? What's it going to be? Oh, be careful. So did you hear about the explosion in Texas at the dairy? Have you seen that yet? I haven't had the TV on at all today, so I have no idea if it's on the mainstream news. I've seen some articles that come out later. I got the information overnight. 18,000 cows basically were incinerated, from what I understand. You can correct me if I'm wrong, it's cool. At an explosion at a dairy in Texas. Do you know how much milk that probably produces? And do you know how catastrophic that is? Do you really think all of these things right now that we keep seeing and we keep seeing and we keep seeing are not by some weird warped design? I mean, we've talked about this. A lot of people have been talking about this over the last year. All the meat processing plants. Now we have dairies and more. All the different things that have to do with basically food are poof like that. Now, if you had one here or one there, those things happen, and it's very unfortunate. But to continually see these things like we are, not mentioning anything else, you have to be out on another planet to go, I don't think there's anything to this. I mean, at what point does the average individual who is not thinking or doing anything go, man, how many does that, what is going on? Right? That makes you want to figure things out. It should make you want to do more for you and your self-reliance. If I were you, and you don't have any dairy animals, my advice to you would be, and you'd like some milk in the house for different reasons, I would definitely be storing dry milk right now. Milk is going to go up, dairy's going to go up with all the crises, but not only that, everything's going to go up in general situations with inflation as it is right now. Do not let anything they tell you deceive you, okay? It's all a lie. It's all a lie. Liar, liars, pants on fire, and unfortunately they threw a dairy in on it too, a massive one. How do you think that's going to affect the supply chain if these things continue? Because here's the thing. I know a lot of people don't understand this. They're like, well, I hate that. That's horrible. And da-da-da-da-da-da. Folks, you don't just create a dairy and poof, there it is. I mean, in order for me to get milk from my cow, any of my dairy cows, they have to be bred. Then they have to produce a calf. Then they have to freshen. By the way, you don't breed, you just don't grab a cow and throw her out and breed her. No. You don't even, like Cookie that's down here walking with her mama, she was not going to be bred until she was anywhere of 13 to 15 months old, minimum start. So when you have a calf and you have that cute little heifer, you need to wait, in terms of the dairy cows, you need to wait well over a full year before you can even breed her, okay? Then you're going to have to wait 8+ months for her to have a calf. Hopefully everything goes good, and then you freshen. So basically what you're looking at is, if you have a heifer, a little baby calf just hits the ground, poof, right there. At a minimum, if everything is perfect, healthy, and successful from the point that she is born to the point to where she would actually be a mama herself, you're basically looking at 2 years. These don't just poof happen. Now, poof, they can disappear overnight, but they don't poof happen overnight. So you're talking about a major devastation to the supply chain when things like this happen, and especially when they continue to happen. So if you are an individual that doesn't have dairy animals and you don't know how to milk anything and you can't get access to this, that, or the other, I would highly recommend that you have dry milk in your pantry of some sort. We even showed the little different types of milk you could get last week that can sit on the shelf for a good, go to the Dollar Tree and get it. Whatever you can do, continue to work on that because it's very, very important. Guys, there's a huge battle going on. Get your war face on. Now, in addition to that, I talked to a gentleman today who is heavily involved in selling and working with long-term food storage, and it sells, okay? And I asked him, I said, well, how's sales, but how are y'all been? I said, have y'all been busy? Just having conversation. He said, no, actually. He said, it's been really strange. We've actually been a little bit slow. And I said, well, we started talking about inflation and, people are getting a little distracted right now, plus the weather's turning good, so, sometimes people find other things to do. He said, let me tell you, he said, that's fine. He said, because we're actually bracing right now. We are bracing ourselves. He said, we're going to continue to try to stack this. He said, because we are literally waiting for the shoe to drop. And I said, which shoe? And he said, pick one. He said, you got so many to choose from nowadays, you just don't know which end is up. He said, but when something happens, he said, we experience runs. He said, so right now, this week, we're kind of taking a little bit of a breather, and we are mentally, physically, and spiritually preparing ourselves for what we feel is about to happen, or it could happen anytime. So folks, people that are in the preparedness industry, depending on what they're doing, I can guarantee you, right now, they are doing everything that they can also do to prepare themselves for runs, right? Right? So just know that in advance because that's what's going on. And let me show you what I just found. Look what I just found. Well, somebody made it to the other side. Hello from the other side, little morel. How are you doing? Oh, that is such a beauty. Looky there. Hey, Fritz, while you're over there, keep looking. There may be more. He don't care. Fritz, look what you did. Fritzy, looky here. Oh my goodness, there's another one. Now looky here. Somebody just asked me, they said, have you been out hunting mushrooms on your property? And I said, no, I've got to get out there. I've only found some up here in the past. We've got a patch up here, but now we've got some down here this year. We didn't hardly see any last year. But look, there's several right here. There's one across the street. See? God shows up. That's a blessing. So what do I mean by all of this? We're hitting several subjects all in one video. Reminders, conversation. But it's to remind you that you are beyond knee-deep in this. We are at war with ourselves here in this country. This is a spiritual battle. This is a psychological battle. This is an emotional battle. And in a lot of ways, even though I don't speak of this in a combative terms against someone physically, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form trying to push something like that. But you have to accept what's going on. And again, like I said in my previous video about the Great Depression, anytime that you speak the truth about these things, you're going to find spiritual attacks. Spiritual attacks. For example, I'm not a Christian because I don't believe this individual actually doesn't even know what I believe. They're just spewing hate, spewing ugly words, saying that I'm not having enough faith. Well, I have a different perspective. I'm not going to stand around, stick my thumb up my rear end, and do nothing and expect God to do something for me just because. I don't believe that. If that's the way you live your life, best of luck to you. But that's not how I believe. I believe I'm supposed to fight for God. I'm supposed to fight and maintain and be joyous in the blessings that I have. We have a beautiful country, regardless of all the scars, but more importantly, regardless of all the lies, all the people trying to convince you that it's not. We, the people, are good people. Notice I said the people. So I'm sorry, Mr. Demon Force, this morning, who I made you poof go away, and I'm not even going to spend my time with you. But I'm going to say this openly to everybody. I'm fighting for God. I'm fighting for what is right. I'm fighting for our freedom. I'm fighting for the right to raise my family how we see fit and not have things jammed down my face and in my throat and down my throat all day long. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to stand. And in part of my standing, I'm going to speak. And I'm going to be an example to anybody around me that I am living and doing the things that I am constantly trying to inspire people to do, because it's important. Because I want you to be self-reliant. Because the more self-reliant you are, the less slavery you give into, meaning debt, waiting around, hitchhiking around, waiting on somebody else to make something happen for you. That's a bunch of malarkey. So no, I'm going to tell you you're at war, because you are, because you're fighting for your life right now. We are fighting for our life. We are fighting for our freedoms. We are fighting for everything that we have right now. This country is. Those of you that are awake, and those of you that are participating in this, and those of you that are working your fingers to the bone, your mind down to the nub every single day, trying to make sure that you are ready for anything that comes our way. I salute you. I do. I salute you. You are the reason why this country moves and has moved for a long time. And I know that your grandparents and your great-great-grandparents, just like mine, gave their all so that we could have what we have had. So yeah, I'm going to have my war face on, and I'm going to fight. I'm going to do everything that I can to do the best that I can to make it through. Guys, I'm going to go, I'm going to get my run over. And I'm going to be looking. I'm so excited about all these morels. This could be really good. I mean, that may just be the only little patch I have. I don't know. But see, this is what I'm saying. Go the distance. You will be blessed. Be looking for every opportunity to be more sustainable. Take every action that you need to be safe and to protect yourself. Ladies, no more pocketbooks. No more. You go get you something, okay? Something that works for you, but it's not in your pocketbook. Guys, we appreciate you being here today. I know you're working hard. I've got so much to do. It's almost, had to get out and run. It's almost a drowning situation some days because I'm trying to do so much by May 15th. And we really are trying to amp things up even harder now. And I know it's all gonna work out. Take a deep breath. Say a prayer. Like, subscribe, and share. I love you guys. Love you, love you. We'll see you on the next video.